Imperare Sibi, maximum imperium est. The greatest empire is the one within. Part 1. The first strike. You wake up to chaos, a message, a failure, an obstacle. Something breaks the pattern of your peace, and the old voice rises. Not again. Why me? This is unfair. You know that voice, the voice of reaction, the voice that makes you feel like a victim of life. But then, there's a chance you hear another voice, quieter, deeper, older. Stop. What if this is not an attack? What if this is a test? That's when something shifts. Not out there, but inside. Not the external world, but how you frame it. Remember the stories, not of legends, but of men. A Roman emperor, betrayed, surrounded by corruption, and yet, calm, still, writing words that would survive centuries. If it is endurable, endure it. If it is not, stop complaining. Not cold, not detached, but focused. Remember the slave who became a philosopher, abused, mocked, crippled, but free in a way few ever are. Not because life was kind, but because his frame was unbreakable. These were not gods. They bled, they cried, but they had something we've forgotten. A weapon not made of iron, but of mind. The power to reframe reality. Not to pretend pain isn't real. Not to run from it, but to bend it into meaning. Weapon 2 is the art of interpretation. The ancient method of reframing. Because here's the brutal truth. Raw facts do not exist for the human mind. Everything you perceive is filtered through a frame. If that frame says, I'm cursed, if that frame says life punishes me, that is your reality. But other frames exist, and the ancients trained them like muscles. Now you begin to see it. The insult, a test of composure. The delay, a forge for patience. The failure, a summons to rebuild, stronger. This isn't reframing to feel better. It's reframing to become stronger. The problem hasn't vanished, but you're no longer in the same place. Because the frame has changed. You are no longer the victim. You are the challenger. This is the moment your mind strikes back. The moment you stop begging for ease and begin commanding meaning. You're not here to react. You're here to reign. This is the weapon. This is the instrument of war. Part 2. The neurological mirror. You've stepped into the fire. You've felt the shift. Now you begin to ask, how does it actually work? What happens when I choose the frame? The answer isn't in a philosophy book. It's in your brain, your nervous system, that invisible space between stimulus and response. Here's the eye-opening truth. You don't see the world. You see what your mind tells you to see. Something happens, a word, a look, a loss, and in milliseconds, a storm begins. Your heart races, your muscles tense. You don't choose the reaction. It comes first. That's the amygdala, the ancient engine, built for survival, for fear, for fight. But you are not a beast. You are not just reaction. You are also something else, something the Stoics didn't name, but practiced every day. If you practice the first weapon, you shouldn't be surprised. The prefrontal cortex, the seat of judgment, the gatekeeper of choice. It can pause the storm. It can say, no, not fear, focus, not threat, trial. That moment, when you stop and reframe, is not imaginary. It is physical. You are literally rewiring yourself. The more you train it, the faster it moves, the stronger the frame becomes, until one day the old voice, the voice of panic, complaint, collapse, no longer rules you. You've forged something else, a mind that reflects before it reacts, a system aligned with virtue, not impulse. And that changes your reality, because meaning isn't what happens. Meaning is what you make of what happens. This is the mirror, not the one the world shows you, but the one you learn to hold up to yourself. Every time you choose interpretation over impulse, you sharpen the edge. You turn emotion into energy, pain into perspective. This is not fantasy. It is function of the awakened mind. The mind, trained to command its frame, becomes a weapon, and the frame you carry becomes the world you create. Part 3. The ritual path. To change your life, you must train on 3 levels: emotion, understanding, and now, action. But this isn't a path you walk with your feet. It's one you carve with your mind. Because interpretation is not a theory. It's a discipline, a daily war, a sacred ritual, and there is a way to train it. It begins with a choice: to believe that life is not happening to you, but for you. Not as comfort, but as challenge, as training. The Stoics had a name for this: ascesis, sacred exercise. Here's how it works. First, create a mental figure, a watcher, a trainer, a god, a master. Call it whatever you like. Its name doesn't matter. Its function does. This being doesn't protect you. It tests you. It sends the storm. You miss the train, test of patience. Betrayed by a friend, test of forgiveness. Overwhelmed, test of clarity. Every trial is their design, not to break you, but to forge you. And when it comes, you don't collapse. You nod and whisper, "I see what this is." This is not misfortune. This is a summons. Interpretation is not escapism. It is sovereignty. Because while others are ruled by reflex, you choose meaning. While others drown in chaos, you make order. Each time you hold the frame, you sharpen it. Each time you pass the trial, you build the self. Until one day, your mind becomes a citadel, not untouched by pain, but undefeated by it. So when the next challenge comes, and it will, remember, you were not sent to suffer, you were sent to train. Every trial is a gate, every gate is a choice, every choice is a step in building the greatest empire, the one within.